Welcome back to the Arabella Boathouse. This week, Bob Emser from The Art of Boat Building comes by the farm all the way from Eureka, Illinois to pick up the materials for building the tender. And then it's back to work on the covering boards, getting them cut closer to their final shape. Thanks for joining us, and remember to hit the like button and make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you can follow along with new videos every Friday.
I got a fun surprise for KP this morning. So every once in a while, I've been working on this project for quite a while. I've scrapped a number of boats, collected a lot of goodies, and they're all just stashed away places waiting for their day. And a lot of them KP doesn't know about because they weren't here for it. And every once in a while, I get to pull something out that they don't know about. And oftentimes they just have these like great reactions and they get so excited about it. And it's awesome. It's just fantastic energy. Good morning.
Morning.
I got a little surprise for you. I just head on upstairs.
Should I be worried? Should I have my earplugs on? Oh, what? I have stanchions already? Oh. Are those from Victoria?
No, I don't remember what boat they're salvaged from. But I stuck them in the back.
Boat.
And I almost forgot about them. I went and pulled them out this morning. I think they're a good start. We're gonna have to do some mods to them, but.
Oh, nice. It's not the whole footprint, so water can drain through there. What is that noise?
That noise is the hay baler.
Oh.
Grandpa broke it. And then we fixed it. I think we fixed it. Sounds like he's trying to take it for a test spin.
Make sure you fixed it. So amazing.
You've never seen a baler?
I've never seen a baler before.
Well, this is an old kind.
I'm catching on that it's not a new.
It's not a new one.
Not a new one.
It's an oldie but goodie.
A goodie.
So what happens is if these tines come up to make the knot at the same time that the chute's coming back, the compressing arm, it'll shatter everything. So there's a bar under there that this whole mechanism pushes up, and it's a safety catch, and that will stop that chute if these bars don't return to their full spot. So the needles go up, they tie the knot, and they're supposed to retract. And if they don't retract far enough, there's a plate back there that gets lifted. When the compressing arm comes in to make the bail, it stops and shears a shear pin instead of destroying your needles.
Thing. Yeah.
And what we realized is that this bushing up here on this arm had worn out.
Okay.
And this had a ton of slop and play in it. Oh. And it wasn't pushing these needles back all the way.
Okay.
So Grandpa said every once in a while it would miss. Wouldn't push the needles back. The lever arm, the bracket wouldn't come down. You'd blow a shear pin. So I had to order up a bushing, drill it out a little bit to fit the new bushing. And now that's nice and tight and seems to be going well.
Nice job, MacGyver.
Yeah. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut now and again.
After fairing the deck beams and cutting off the frame ends, there was a good amount to clean up down below.
How's it looking down there?
The bed's made for you.
The bed's made. How do you think we should start?
Dust masks.
Yeah, dust masks for sure. Kind of thinking we grab the big trash can and try maybe taking all the sheets and seeing if we can just gently scoop and shuffle everything in.
This is all from the deck.
Yeah, this is all from the deck beams. Well, and the shear strake and the tops of the frames that we cut off.
Okay, fair.
Don't worry about that sliver of light. Once the planks swell up, it'll close right up.
Before heading off to the Wooden Boat Show in Mystic, Bob Emser from The Art of Boat Building arrived with his trailer to take back the usable material salvaged from Victoria that will over the next months become Arabellas Tender.
Man, that's a long drive.
It's a long ride.
Yeah.
How you doing, buddy?
Good to see you.
Oh, good to see you too, man.
Been a long time.
Yeah.
Hi.
AP.
It's so good to
Yeah,
meet you,
you
Bob.
too.
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah. I'm a visitor. Can I go this way?
Yeah, this is the visitor entrance right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's looking good.
I'm psyched to have you doing the tender.
Oh, man, I'm pretty excited about it too. So I've had the plans up in my studio for a while. We're going to make all of the sheaves ourselves.
Wow. Very cool.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that. Part of it, you know, it's like, well, you know, one of them is like $300
Yeah.
if you want a nice bronze one. And I'm like, I need, I think, 11.
Okay, that adds up.
And I got nothing but time. It's like, I think it's kind of a cool project to be able to do. I've got all the equipment and I've got the expertise, and
There you go.
so what we'll probably do is model the shell in SketchUp, and then I bought a 3D printer, so I've been printing parts, and then I figured out how to do what lost PLA. PLA is the filament.
Yeah.
So how to do lost PLA, and I can cast the same as lost wax almost.
Nice.
So you know, the original plans say canvas
Yep.
covered. So I'm sure you're familiar with Dynel.
Yep.
So I think that's probably the way to, because I don't think you're going to like an epoxy a glass finish on it.
No, whatever. Yeah, something that's tough and rugged. And I
Yeah,
think
and
Dynel's
Dynel's
probably the
pretty
way to go.
tough. And the other thing is we can put some, you know, skid bars on the bottom of it,
Yeah.
some runners.
That's a good idea.
I mean, they could even be, bronze. Could be half round bronze or something
Yeah.
if we wanted it to be, or, you know, black locust or white oak.
Delrin.
I would say the other ones before that. But
I'm like lightweight, won't rot, super slippery. Bob's like hideous, ugly.
well, you're not. I mean, the difference in weight's
No.
is not worth. So.
No,
but-
keeping the tender as light as possible. I mean, that's the thing, is it's such a weird, I mean, it's such a challenging balance of
Yeah.
things to make it light but strong and rugged and ideally unsinkable would be fantastic.
Last week, Steve and KP announced Arabella's launch date from the ship lift at Mystic Seaport. In order to make that deadline, we'll need all the help we can get, so we're very happy to have this video sponsored by Ecoflow. They sent us a small unit to try out at the Wooden Boat Show booth this year. Founded by leading creators in the drone industry, Ecoflow makes lightweight, portable power stations that can be used for home backup, outdoor adventures, and on-the-job needs. And right now, during Prime Day, through July 17th, is Ecoflow's biggest sales season with up to 48% off some products. So everyone can afford these eco-friendly batteries for power in any location, no matter how remote.
We've had this Ecoflow Delta for a little bit now. We've been using it to run the fridge, and we can run the fridge for a little over an entire day off it, even in the heat this summer, which is pretty impressive for such a small battery. But this is a bit too big to do things like go to the boat show with. So Ecoflow gave us this little river, which is their smaller version, and that was really handy. We took it down to the boat show and managed to charge up for all our filming and stuff. And these are actually on sale through the 17th, so some of the Ecoflow stuff is up to 48% off. They're great little lithium-ion batteries. Ecoflow has an app, So no matter what Ecoflow device you have, you can have it here on your app and select what you have and control those from your phone. It's got a few USB plugs, a 12-volt plug, and a couple 110 plugs in the back. That's where your input is. Solar panels are charging from the wall. And it's been nice to have the bigger version to be able to run the fridge, and this much smaller portable version that we can move around the shop and do things like take to boat shows. We got the Makita battery charging here and a microphone, and we got 11 hours left on this battery, and this one here we've got 2 phones and my headphones, and we got 6 hours left. So the Delta Mini here has got 882 watt hours, so it's actually a decent sized battery. And the Little River here is only 210, so it's pretty small. But for being portable and doing small things like charging phones, it's great. I think it wouldn't be terribly efficient to charge the Makita batteries off it, but this one has enough power to do those a few times and not totally drain it. So huge thanks to Ecoflow for these. These have been really, really handy, and it has gone a long way towards us being able to buy all the navigation gear. So like I said, these are on sale for until the 17th. So if you're interested in some batteries, go check them out. Oh man, this lumber from Victoria hasn't seen the light of day in a long time. I will let you decide what you want to take and what you want to leave.
Yeah.
This wasn't particularly well sorted through. We basically, anything that was like, maybe, got thrown in the pile.
Yeah. That's a decent one.
Anything you don't want, just pull out and we'll get it out of the way.
You think it's lead paint?
I don't know.
I'll find out, I guess. Let's kind of get a big check in there. Nah.
Alrighty.
It's too much. There's too much here to be.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of good stuff.
Yeah. It's kind of exciting to think we're going to give new life to this stuff.
I know.
What it's going to look like when it's done.
I mean, I'm sure some of these planks, probably a good portion of them, actually most of them I think are original.
Yeah,
So
right?
they've already served in a boat for 100 years. Supposedly these garboards are teak.
Teak?
Yeah. That's what I was told.
Well, maybe you should make your deck out of that.
Yeah, they're a little iron sick.
Yeah, a little bit.
So what are we gonna do out of locust? In whale, out whale, skid plate?
I think that's probably the best thing. Because you'd probably rather have locust skid plates as opposed to bronze like
Yeah.
John was talking about. The problem with bronze is we have to buy it.
Yarr. Think these will work for oarlock pads? So I put that finish on that one to see what the burl looked like, and you think the 2 is enough?
Oh yeah, because
Yeah, they're not big.
they're only about that big. I put a little on it,
So do you only need 1 then? Yeah, take 2.
I need both.
He needs
He
both.
needs both.
Just in case.
All right, and now we just need some spar wood. We got oar wood, all wood. You got enough wood here to build a tender?
Maybe. We could have gotten more on there.
Man, I just keep racking my brain to make sure that
Yeah.
we send you with everything we need.
No.
Everything you need.
So we got lots of cedar planking,
Yep.
and we got a few pieces of black locust
Yep.
and some oak, and plenty of pine that we can make a mast and spars. And what else do we got?
You got the mahogany paneling, which was Victoria's ceiling. And I like the idea of using that for the watertight bulkheads we're talking about.
Yeah,
I think that's
it's
cool.
going to look nice. Yeah.
And then, thanks to my buddy Tim, we got a couple big slabs of ash here. Nice quarter-sawn ash.
Yeah.
You can do some oars.
Yep, oars,
And,
ash oars.
Tiller.
Yep.
Got my.
And then, of course, there's a whole load of stuff in the back of the truck with the Hackensack knees and some more mahogany. Red letter day for me.
2023 shaping up to be a big year.
Indeed it is. So.
All right, Bob.
All right,
Drive
buddy.
safe,
Take
man.
care.
Thank
I'll
you.
see you soon.
Make sure you follow along with Bob at his YouTube channel, The Art of Boat Building, as he gets started on the tender. His new videos come out every 2 weeks on Saturday. Before continuing work on the covering board, Steve and KP needed to make up some patterns for the sections of the king plank, which will be a wide series of locust planks that run down the center line. A lot of heavy hardware like the bowsprit and windlass will be atop this plank, so it makes sense to provide some strength in this area.
Oh, you're going there. Okay. That thing's amazing.
What'd you
The
say?
worm drive saw is like super strong.
Oh, it's way, way, way better than a direct drive. Way better.
Wow.
So much more power than a direct drive. Yeah,
Don't
it's
know.
not even like a particularly sharp blade in it.
Wow.
Yep.
That went by. I mean, that went through that quickly.
It ended up being one of those days. So we started to fit the covering board here, which is going quite swimmingly.
Quite.
It held its shape really well. We didn't have to trim much off it to get it to the hull. And then the questions and the decisions began. Now, we weren't quite sure if we should continue the angle of the hull through the covering board and through the tow rail, or if we wanted to make the tow rail a different angle than the hull, and how we wanted to play that. And if we wanted to use these bronze bases that I salvaged, and how best to use them, because they were apparently on a deck with a lot of shape.
A lot of angles going on, and they're
Yeah.
all different from one another.
Otherwise, they lean inboard pretty heavily.
Yeah. It was an exciting morning to show up to those.
Yeah.
But it'll be more work to retrofit them than just start from scratch, I think.
Ultimately, that's what it seems like. So to try to figure out the tow rail and that angle and all of that, we ended up taking some pine here and just milling it up to the 1 inch thick that the tow rail will be. And the tow rail is supposed to be 6 inches. This is like 5.5. I got it floating the deck by 1/2 inch. And this isn't to be a perfect mock-up, just to kind of give us an idea of what we're
Yeah.
looking at.
And we're not using pine for the tow rail.
Yeah, Atkin spec cedar
Oh. But we'll use...
with an oak cap on it.
Oh, that'd be nice. But
Yeah, we'll use a couple of runs of locust.
locust. That's the ticket.
And what we ultimately decided is to make the tow rail 90 degrees to the covering board. And that means the tow rail will lean outboard a little more at stem and stern and be a little more vertical at midships. And it makes fabricating the bronze brackets to go in here mucho easier.
So much easier.
So here's our little bracket template that we came up with. It's made of 1/2-inch plywood, and it'll be made out of 1/2-inch bronze for the base and the upright, and 3/8 for the attachment points here. And we're gonna have Evan at MS Fabrication cut out the bases and this upright for us on his water jet, which will make a huge difference. It's gonna save us a ton of time and energy. And then these will get bolted just like that. So 3 3/8 bolts down into the covering board, and do a couple 1/4-inch rivets into the toe rail. And that should lock that down really well. It should drain really well. And we're gonna add a little hole here in the upright so that we can use that as a point to lash things to, or we can put a shackle through there, which I think could prove handy down the road. So this is our solution. We're trying to make this as lightweight and svelte as we can, but still be strong enough to really anchor this toe rail and to be able to add some lifeline stanchions too, and make sure that that's not going anywhere.
Aaron was around to help a little, and Steve got him set up to clean some bronze hardware in the sandblaster, while KP got ready for more work on the covering boards in the boathouse.
Hi! How you doing out there? Hello!
KP and I started working on fitting the covering boards, and we realized that even with the sweeps that we had, and even with how far we pushed them steaming, one of which we broke, we were pushing them so hard that we didn't quite have the shape in the stern, and we were also a little shy at one spot on the stem. So back to the steaming rig, we fired that up, and we've got one that's screwed down over on the other side of the staging, just like this one is, and that one will be for the stern, and this one we're hoping we get a bit more sweep out of it and we'll be able to piece together the stern. The amount of shape from where the house sides are to the stern post is super dramatic, and we're really struggling getting stock to do that curve. But clamping it down and doing it on the floor like this worked out really, really well, because we don't have the frames anymore to be able to clamp to on the side of the boat. So this was pretty much our only option. So we'll get this broken down and see how close we came. Nice, absolutely no spring back. I mean, like 1/8 of an inch of spring back, which in my mind is virtually no spring back. Oh, there, a little more. All right. Maybe a 1/4 inch of spring back. That's not bad.
Oh, it's perfect. Forward a little bit. Towards you? Yeah.
Steve's girlfriend Robin and her daughter Lucy were on hand to help Steve cut down the last of the covering boards on the starboard side. The way you're seeing the covering boards now is not the way they'll ultimately be joined. Once they are installed, they will have a scarf joint that Gannon and Benjamin call a hide-a-butt joint, and you'll see that go together soon enough.
helpful for me to hold it somewhere closer to you?
You still have all your fingers?
Don't go there. Yeah, I do.
Knock on wood.
One time we were haying out in the field
Yeah.
with my ex-son-in-law, and he had a pitchfork like that, and he threw some hay in, and the pitchfork slipped out of his hand, and the machine took that pitchfork and chomp, 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 as this went, chomp, chomp, chomp.
Wasn't this Baler though?
It was a different baler, and what it did is just chomp that,
Pieces.
doom, 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 and put it all in the bales, and out it came.
Like nothing.
What about that other Baler?
Well, the other old baler we had a big old Wisconsin air-cooled 4-cylinder engine up on the top.
So it wasn't PTO driven, it had its own
was
engine.
driven all by itself. Yeah, and Mom would get on the old 9N tractor over there, and she'd pull the baler all around, and I'd catch the bales as they came off and put them on the wagon, and away we go.
That thing had a crank start. You had to hand crank it to start it.
That had an old crank start. You hear, and if you don't think that tires you out real quick.
And it would kick
So
back sometimes.
what I did is on the back of the 9N, I bought a pulley driven off the PTO. And I had a flat belt 6 inches wide and about 20 feet long. I could put it around the little crank pulley here over to the tractor, start the tractor up, and the tractor
and
would
that
spin it.
would. Grandpa's starting the thing again.
We're trying to MacGyver it, if you want.
I see where Steve gets it now, huh?
Yeah, right.
I think.
Anyway, that seems to be working, Steve.